Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they take on last year's #1 overall pick, Baker Mayfield, and the upstart Cleveland Browns. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Baltimore Ravens. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club, and they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Mayfield down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Watch 80.
From the gun, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens now under 12th year coach John Harbaugh. Jackson, options out left. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Get ready.
Jackson from the shotgun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Larry Ogunjobi, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
2 plays so far, a run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up.
Not at all.
Looking for a better play coming up on third. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. He gets it complete to Harris. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big pickup of 38. What a luxury to have a tight end that can not only catch it, but then can run after the catch like that.
What was the old expression back in the good old days that they used to carry pianos on their backs when they caught the football? Someone would stop and bang out a 2-1.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tim Williams, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. Here's Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the 1st down in the process. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You'd have to imagine for a team that's lost 3 straight games, scoring first in this first quarter has to feel pretty good.
That's feel great for them, and also it's a nice signal to the rest of the team, because we talk about complimentary football all the time. So they've now signaled to the defense, now signaled to the kicking game, hey, we're here to play in this one. We're going to do our part. Let's see if you guys will do the exact same, and we can break this losing streak.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Olivier Vernon make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. This is the rookie from Oklahoma State, Justice Hill. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Jackson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. 14 carries, 90 yards, and a touchdown.
And as we discovered and talked with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run the football more. I expect 40 to 50 carries.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Heading out as a Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And some room to roam now. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play that time out of Chubb. 44 yards. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
180. Watch out, watch out. Tight and rock, tight and rock.
On 2nd and 12, Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He finds Beckham complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns have taken the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down now, it's Ingram, and he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
53 to Mike, 53, check 53. I got one. Shut up.
Play action, it's Jackson. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
What we got?
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Jackson now, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And Jackson throwing once more. Roberts got him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Tucker with the extra point, and we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So that drive in total 8 plays, and in the end it's capped off by a 7-yard run. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
Let's go, baby.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw is Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore 1st down.
Mike 58 right there. Got you, boy.
On 1st down, Ingram. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven 1st. Nice throw there by Jackson. You think about what a boost he gave Baltimore the middle of last year. Led them to victories in 6 of their last 7 games as a starter, replacing Joe Flacco, who had the hip issue. And that strong finish was good enough for the Ravens to capture their first AFC North crown since 2012. And now Jackson's a known commodity. He's the unquestioned starter, and with increased expectations and pressure on the former Heisman Trophy winner. Jackson's throw caught here by Boykin. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Jackson, options out left. Room here to run. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 27 yards, as his guys are able to regain the lead. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that come.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of him? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work.
Lost.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They run. Chubb. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kenny Young, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and out will come the offense as they take over. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Check 53. Here we go,
They go play action here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard, Marshall Yanda.
We go work. Check 53,
Following the penalty, it's Hill. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
right there.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Squeeze, squeeze, double, double. 53.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Sam Cook now, standing just outside his own goal line. Here comes the pressure, and the Browns block it. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. In for the score, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And oh, it's blocked. And now the Ravens get it.
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 40, 20, 10, 5, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. On the NFL scoreboard, looking and keeping an eye on Santa Clara. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
It's complete to Snead. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
But you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. Throwing is Jackson. This is caught. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. One man in the backfield, that's Ingram on 2nd and goal. Jackson will throw again, and that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The line of scrimmage is the 3 as they look to cash in on 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal, here's the option left. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Tucker's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
Excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
58. Mike, 58, right there. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. 58, boys, 58. Hop on. Keep it up, guys.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson.
That's pulled in by the rookie from Notre Dame, Miles Boykin. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
53, Mike, 53. Watch the slip.
Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A first down there on a pickup of 25. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense. But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a...
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is now 13. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21. The Browns drive about to get started. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Let's get off the field, D.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
On the ready. 53, Mike. Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Out of time. Let's get off the field.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Tackle made there by Myles Garrett.
Let's go, Eddie. Give me some. Here we go. Check. check 24, check 24. Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53.
Jackson, options out left. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And some room to maneuver. Now he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of right around 35 yards on a play that started back inside their 10.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a play fake here on first down. Snead's got it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. Well, Snead figures to be an important veteran presence for Lamar Jackson. 2 years ago, it was a disappointing 2017 for Snead. That was in New Orleans. But then had a bit of a bounce-back campaign a season ago in his first go-around with Baltimore. 62 catches, 650 yards. Did have surgery in the offseason on his left index finger, but back to full health and ready to go. First and 10, it's Jackson. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They run from the pistol with Ingram. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Let's go.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Caught right side at Snead. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, Ingram. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. He can run for it, and he will. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. A second down throw for Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out and give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Jarvis Landry with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys are back within a single score. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Just like that. Just like that. Out, 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 out. Who's that? Who's that? Is that yours? Who's that?
Now Ingram, he's been busy today. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram. He goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield. Although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence. Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
He's checking. He's on ball.
They'll run on first down. It's Ingram, and I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 38. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He'll try and run it. And some room to work.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Now it's Jackson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what we said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3-and-out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal.
58, boy, 58.
Jackson from the gun, he'll throw. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And now the Browns coming out on the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the fourth quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. The Browns on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
No gain, and it's second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time, and now it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He finds back taken, complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens 37.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up. They've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Mayfield this time gets it off to Chubb.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The intended receiver was Rashard Higgins, and it's 3rd and 5. Already a pair of third down conversions for them on this drive, but right now they need 5 yards on this third down try. They set up the screen to Chubb. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. 21 yards there on third down. In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
On first down, here's McGuire. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On second down and 4, Mayfield completes it to McGuire out of the backfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Elijah McGuire hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
And he takes this way down deep into Cleveland territory. Inside of 2 minutes remaining in a 2-point ball game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal as they search for what could be a game-sealing touchdown. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And again, it's Ingram. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Jackson to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will be a 34-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will push the lead up to 5.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now Mayfield and the Browns down by 5. A minute 39 to go. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Now Mayfield drops it off for Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Mayfield trying to get him up to the line as fast as he can. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Ravens, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.